What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and up next I have got a pretty awesome unboxing here. This is a 10-book standard submission, now called High Value submission from CGC that I just got back. I have not checked the grades, so it's gonna be fun. I've got my list right down here with all my grade estimates, and we'll see how I did. I did check if they were universal or restored though, and I missed restoration on one of them, so there's one big disappointment at least in here. So let's get into these and let's see how I did. All right, so before we get started, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. So if you've watched these videos before, I had a big submission I sent into CGC. It was, well, big for me. It was 42 books. I've gotten back the Express book, if you watched that video I did. I've gotten back the modern books already, if you watched the video I did for those. This one is the standard books. So standard books are any books that are up to $1,000. That's the kind of the standard submission criteria. CGC now calls it their high value tier. And so there's some pretty cool books in here. There's some fun stuff in this one. Now, if you have submitted to CGC before, you know they give you the information in like pieces, like as they process through the books. And so I didn't check the grades on these, but I did check when they said whether they were universal or restored. And there is one big disappointment in here, a book that I missed the restoration on it. So that one is gonna really suck. Definite loss on that book. And it stinks for more than one reason, which I'll get into when we get to that book. But before we get into these, we've got to talk about the sponsor of this video, the Pittsburgh Comic Book Show. If you're like me, when you go to a comic convention, you want to see comics. The Pittsburgh Comic Book Show coming up on Sunday, May 21st from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. perfectly fits that bill. They have 12,000 square feet of space with over 75 vendor and dealer tables, and it only costs $5 to get in. Plus, first responders, military, and children under 12 get in for free. They'll also have DC and Marvel artist Koi Pham, so make sure to head down to the Hampton Community Center in Allison Park, Pennsylvania, and check out the show and everything it has to offer. All right, we're back, so let's get into these books and make sure to go check out that show. It's this weekend, and tons of vendors and lots of comics, and you know, maybe find some awesome stuff that you will want to send into CGC as well. So there are, like I said, 10 books in here. I'm going to open this up. I'm not going to look at them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the book down from the top, and I have a screen over at the side here where I can see the grade when it comes down the same time as you. And so we will see how I did together. Like I said, I know there's at least one disappointment in here. I don't know what the grade is, but I know that it was restored. And one of my concerns is always that I feel like I've seen that if a book is gets hit with restoration, they often seem like they grade it a little harder. So I'm not going to be surprised if I get a little lower grade too on that one, which is kind of like a double punch to the face when those don't turn out. Now, all of these books were pressed and cleaned by the Comic Book Presser. He's also a sponsor of this channel, and he always does a fantastic job. If you watched my other CGC unboxing videos, those ones were all pressed and cleaned by him, and these were as well. So I don't know what order these are going to come out in, but I do have my list down here with my grade estimates. So we will, talk about the books as they come out. So let's start with this one. I don't know which book this is, and let's see where we're starting. All right, so this is an L.B. Cole book. This is Contact Comics. Which one is this? Contact Comics number 8? Yes, Contact Comics number 8. This was a really nice presenting copy. I had this one as a 7.0. You can see this is one of these. It's like I think this is World War II era. Let me check. Yeah, this is 1945. So this is World War II era. It's an L.B. Cole cover, these plain covers that he did, and just really clean looking book. Like I said, I had it at a 7.0. Oof. Yikes. That is not how I want to start this one off. All right. Well, we'll see if this is the type of unboxing this is going to be. But yeah, so it's 5.5. I brought my other phone here with me so that I could scan these and check the grader's notes, because I'm curious what the grader's notes are on this. Because these books have these QR codes on the back, so you can scan them and get those notes right away. So light creasing to cover, light foxing to cover, light spine stress lines to cover. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound like a 5.0 to me. And it just doesn't look like a 5.0 to me. Yeah, I mean, maybe this is one, I don't know, maybe I consider a resub. I'll have to think about it. I mean, because, yeah, I mean, this is a really nice presenting copy of this book, especially from 1945. So off-white to white pages too. I remember thinking this one had really nice page quality as well. I did submit this one thinking it was maybe the San Francisco pedigree. They did not agree, so I did not get the San Francisco pedigree with this one. Here's the back cover. This is like a scuff on the case. It's not on the book, if you're wondering about that. But yeah, I mean, because like foxing is really minor. You know, like there's a little bit here, a little bit along the bottom. I don't know. It feels like this one was graded a little harsh, so I'll have to think about it. If it's worth the extra expense that would go with cracking this out, if I think, you know, it can get that 7.0 or even maybe like a 6.5 or something like that. I mean, it's definitely firmly attached, no detached staple or anything like that. Yeah, definitely one that I'm gonna be thinking about that one. Maybe that's a resubmission option. All right, let's see what's next. So not the greatest start. I don't know what one this one is. All right. Yeah, this one isn't gonna be a good one either, because this is the one I know I missed the restoration on. So this is Captain Battle Comics #3. This one I had submitted that I thought was the Rockford pedigree. I did get the pedigree. I know that because that information was provided when I checked whether it had restoration or universal. So that's what really stings about this. I got the pedigree, meaning I would have gotten the pedigree label, the gold label, but it has restoration, which overrides the pedigree label. So this is going to be a purple label instead. I don't know what the restoration is, so we'll definitely scan this one to check that, because that you don't get until they actually grade the book. But let's see how we did. I had this one as a 6 to a 6.5. Like I said, I usually feel like I get hit harder when it's restored, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little lower. We'll see. Oh, there it is, 5.5. Yeah, and so you can see I got the Rockford pedigree. So I actually got the pedigree for this so this was the reason I submitted for the pedigree. It has this stamp here, this S stamp. And that's one of the well-known factors for the Rockford pedigree, with the well-known identifiers. Oh, man, what did I miss? All right, so let's scan this one now. So then we can see what that restoration is. Well, it says it's cover reinforced on there, but it says spine split, bottom of spine, left top, right top of front cover reinforced, multiple crease, left top of front cover, breaks color. So yeah, I wonder if I probably didn't use a black light, because yeah, that looks like something's going on there. So it's hard to, I don't know if it'll come out on camera. There's like a little bit of like, you can kind of see here, like it looks like there's something on the surface there. I don't know, like when I see reinforced, it's often this like rice type paper that looks like tape. And so it's possible I thought it was tape, or I just missed it. I think I probably just missed it. Man, that stinks. It stings so much, because I would have gotten that gold label, and then instead I get this stupid purple label. So I don't get the gold label, even though I actually got the pedigree. And I'm guessing, like, it almost looks like that would have to be cut out. Would it keep the grade? Like, would it be worth it for the gold label? But, so, I mean, you can take a look at this book. It's this pretty crazy cover. You've got this, you know, the woman on the cover that's going to get, like, smushed by these spikes over here. You've got, you know, just a bunch of weird different characters on the cover. You've got this kind of like random dragon lizard thing in the back here, or maybe a snake, I don't know. But yeah, you know, it's got the skull down here. I've always thought it was kind of a cool cover. I thought maybe I had that shot at that pedigree, which I got, but then I don't get the gold label. So hopefully I'm getting the bad ones out of the way at the start. Because yeah, oh, man, because like I said, I had a 6 to 6.5, but once I saw the restoration, I'm not surprised that it got a little bit lower. I'm pretty used to that. I'll have to think about, I'll see, maybe I want to send it in to have them evaluate it to have that restoration removed. I don't know if it's worth the extra cost, because it's already at a 5.5. I know I'm already, if that had been a blue label 5.5, I'd be a little worried about my expense on it. So that's definitely another loss on this one. What's that? Oh, okay, so that was my, so this one must be my Detective Comics 106, because this came back with this, see if I can get it out here. So this came back with this thing, which is this Promise Collection Pedigree. So this is a book I bought off of Heritage Raw, and it's from the Promise Collection Pedigree. They did not get all of them graded, and so this is one that they didn't get graded. So this is Detective Comics number 106. I had a little bit larger range on this one because I wasn't sure what could be cleaned up. I had this at a, let's bring it down here. Ooh, that's not the right book. So they put it in the wrong one. All right, so this is not Detective Comics 106. This is Avengers number 4. All right, so this is Avengers number 4, first Silver Age appearance of Captain America. It's just like kind of random that they put that in there with that. But I do have a Detective Comics 106 Promise Collection book that's in here too. This is first Silver Age appearance of Captain America. I had this one at a 3.5. Let's see if we can start, you know, getting back on track with these. All right, 3.5, blue label, creamed off white pages, cool little like date stamp in the middle there, January 3rd. Really solid presenting copy. Just has kind of like some tanning and, you know, that kind of thing around the outside edge. But yeah, really nice presenting copy of this one for the grade. And this one, I got a buddy that he's been waiting for this one to come back. He's interested in this book, and 3.5, you know, being right around the grade that I was expecting, I'll definitely be reaching out to him about this one. But yeah, Avengers number 4, cool book. First Silver Age appearance of Captain America, always a great cover, and this one just presents real solid. And yeah, 3.5. So happy with that. All right, back on track. So let's see if we can hopefully keep that up with these, you know, the remainder of the books that are in here. All right, there's the front. All right. Oh, okay. So this is Famous Funnies number 214. My favorite cover from the run. I have a 3.0 copy of this one that is currently on my keeper list. This one I had as a 2.5. It's a pretty nice presenting copy. It's got some creasing on the top up here, and I remember some like spine wear, that kind of thing. But yeah, 2.5, Famous Funnies 214. This is a Frank Frazetta cover, and like I said, my favorite cover from this run of 209 to 216 that he did. I love this Red Planet cover. All right, 2.5. Okay, all right, so 2 for 2 that we're right on. Yeah, that's right. It has some tape up at the top that was protecting some splitting, and you know, these creases up in the corner. But overall, a very solid presenting 2.5. Yeah, there's also like a little staining on the back, and you can see the tape more clearly here. It doesn't show up quite as much on the front where you have the red. You kind of see it over the staple area, but yeah, I love this. I love this book. I have a 212 that is in the Fast Track Economy submission that I did, but this book is a little more expensive, so I submitted it in the standard tier, and yeah, real happy with the 2.5. There you've got, you know, Frank Frazetta's signature block on the cover there, and just awesome cover. This run of books have gotten so much more expensive over the last couple of years. People have just been seeking out this run from 209 to 216, and this book 214 is like probably the second most expensive in the run. 213 is the most expensive, but 214 is my favorite cover. I love that Red Planet. Just such a cool cover with Buck Rogers on there, and this alien monster guy that's riding on top of his spaceship. Yeah, awesome. All right, so very happy with that. Getting that as a 2.5 is a solid win that helps make up for some of these others. And like I said, I had that other video that I did where I had my Secret Diary of Eerie Adventures NN that came back a 4.0, and so that one makes up for a lot of potential misses. So, all right, now this is the Detective Comics number 106. This is the one that is the Promise Collection pedigree. Because remember I said I looked at those earlier so I could see if it got the pedigree. This one got the pedigree, which is expected because I sent in the actual, pedigree documentation with it. The other one was based on the marking that's on the book, and so there are some pedigrees that have unique markings to them, and so you can get those pedigrees with those markings if they decide that they think it's actually from that one. This one, because I actually have the certification with it, I know it's from that Promise Collection pedigree. But I had this one at a 5.5 to a 6.5, which is a little larger range than I normally do, but I wasn't sure how much could really be cleaned up on this one with some of the creasing and stuff that was on the cover. It's a beautiful presenting copy, but it has a little staining on the bottom, and it had this, I'll show it maybe a little closer later. There's this like crease in the middle here, which looks pretty good right now, but so yeah, 5.5 to a 6.5. All right, 6.0 and the gold label, so right in the middle. Off-white to white pages. So the Promise Collection pedigree, most of those books were getting off-white to white or white pages. They're pretty nice page quality. Let's see how that crease pressed out on the front. Man, I don't even know if I can see it. It pressed out really well. Yeah, it shows up a little bit, but yeah, that pressed out really well. There's this like diagonal crease. You see like right kind of here that goes there. It goes like across Batman, but looks much, much better than it did. But the unfortunate thing with this one was on the back cover, there's this staining along the bottom, and that was really what was going to hold it back some. And but yeah, really, really nice. This kind of gives you an example of what these Promise Collection books, a lot of them really look like. I know some people felt the Promise Collection books were overgraded. I disagree. It's Golden Age books, and there are some things about Golden Age books that get graded differently than silver and bronze. So if you're really mostly familiar with silver and bronze, and then you think that, like a 9.8 Golden Age is the same as a 9.8 silver, bronze, or modern, you are wrong. So they are not the same. But man, yeah, this book presents so well. Like, look at this thing. Look at how sharp edges and corners on this book are. But this is what happens when you have very specific types of flaws. And in this case, this staining that's down on the back, on the bottom of this cover, when you have a flaw like that, it's going to hold your book back to a certain grade. And I know some people would say I should do like this stain removal type stuff, but I don't want to risk it with a pedigree Promise Collection book like that. So 6.0, Detective Comics 106, happy with that. Let's check out the grader's notes on it. I'm guessing it talks about that. Let's see if it's going to grab the QR code or not. Nope. Oh, yeah, I got it. It often has a little more trouble with the QR codes on these pedigree books. It seems to, the label seems to push it down a little bit more. But stapled attached bottom of front cover, tear with crease left center of back cover, small stain right bottom of front cover. So yeah, so the staining is what, probably hurt it the most. But then so it's not fully detached, but detached at the front cover. But you can get above a 6.0 with that. So I think the staining is probably really what held this book back. But yeah, I mean, just super nice presenting copy. Really bright. And that, I love the gold labels on these. So happy to get that. I think that's the only other pedigree book that I submitted as part of this. All right, let's see what the next one is. So far, other than those first two, the last three have been right on. So, okay, this is a fun one because this is Crime Suspense Stories number 16. I picked this up at that local comic show. It was the first time I went to that show. I was walking around and I saw this book on the wall of one of the dealers, and it looked really nice. I asked if I could see it. I flipped through it. Page quality looked great and everything. And I had this one at a 7.0. This is just a beautiful copy. I mean, you can tell right here from this thing. Oh, and I showed that it's a Universal. So we know it's Universal. But yeah, I mean, just look at this thing. Just a stunning copy of this book. Let's see how we did. Whew, man. And white pages. 8-0 white pages. That is incredible. Okay. All right. That is awesome. I am really, really happy about that. Man, this looks nice. This cleaned up so well. Wow. I mean, look at this cover. So this is a Johnny Craig cover. I feel like I've always felt like this is one of the more underappreciated covers from that run. Like you've got 22, 26, 17 is the gun one. And I mean, just there are some really incredible covers in this run. And I think this one is one of the ones that is a little underappreciated, but I really like. It's got just this crazy guy on the cover. The colors just really pop with that kind of like red to brown fade. I mean, just an incredible one. And man, 8-0 white pages. Incredible. Because I feel like you don't see white pages too often with EC. Man, that is an incredible grade. This looks so nice. I mean, let's check this thing out. Oof, man, that cleaned up so well. I mean, look at like the edges and the corners and everything just look incredible on this copy. Wow. Yeah, let's check out see if we can check out the grader's notes on this one. I love these QR codes, so nice. So spine stress lines cover breaks color, multiple crease full bottom front cover breaks color. So that's these little guys down here. I think that's what I hit it for a little harder. I wasn't really sure how much that would hurt the grade. This kind of like crinkling on the bottom there. But yeah, I mean that's the main defect, and then you've got just a few little spine ticks. I mean, not many though. I mean, look at that spine. This is incredible. So yeah, wow, 8-0 white pages. That is awesome. Really, really happy with that one. Whew, wow, yeah, that was great. That's a really nice one. So I mean, that's the thing, you know, sometimes you get some losses and sometimes you get some wins, and that's a nice win on that one. All right, what's next? Okay, all right, this is Avengers number 8. This is one of the books that I got in that big trade that I did. So that trade where I traded 5 books for 50. 2 of the books that I got in that trade were ones that I was sending in for the person that I did the trade with. I was sending them into CGC for him. We ended up including them in the trade. And so we valued them based on what I thought the grade would be. So this is where hopefully it's actually, you know, the grade I thought it would be. So I got this one as a 7 to a 7.5. So let's see how we did. All right, 7.0. I'll take that. Now, the tough part with this book is it has definitely been correcting with everything that's been going on with Kang and with Jonathan Majors and all of that. But still, happy with the 7.0. It's really nice presenting a copy of this book. Bright colors, and I think there was like maybe a little staining or something. I don't remember. I thought it was maybe some staining. There's a little bit of spine wear. Let's check, I mean, hey, check the grader's notes. And let's see what CGC said. All right, so spine stress lines, cover breaks color, stain full bottom of cover, small chip out of left bottom back cover, small tear right bottom front cover. So yeah, so there's the small tear. There's a small tear right there. The staining is, yeah, I think it was more apparent when you looked on the interior of the cover. But it was like, I mean, it's light and small, but I think it was down there. And then they, you know, just the standard, there's some spine stress. But overall, a very nice presenting copy of this book. So 7.0, I added a 7 to 7.5. Obviously, I would have liked to get the, you know, the upper end of that, the 7.5, but I'm happy with the, you know, with the 7.0 on that. All right, let's see what's coming next. All right. Okay. All right, so we've got Vault of Horror number 35. Johnny Craig cover, probably my favorite Johnny Craig cover. Now, I know he did Crime Suspense Stories 22. Obviously, that is a more expensive book than this one, but I like this cover more. I think, I've talked about this cover a number of times. I just think it's got the right amount of humor to it, you know, where he's got the coffin, where he's written the, you know, Merry Christmas to my wife on it, and, you know, he's got the axe in the back. It could maybe be a precursor to Crime Suspense Stories 22, you know, who knows. But I had this one as a 4 to a 4.5. All right, 4.5. I am happy to get the upper end of that range on this one. This one I remember presented really well. It had some creasing and then just some, you know, some spine wear to it. So there's some creasing at the top, some spine wear. And, but overall, a very nice presenting copy of this book. A little more wear to the back. There's this little chip here, and then a little, you know, a little bit of chipping and wear on that top edge. But yeah, really solid presenting copy of this book. This one, I feel like most of the time I see it, it's in the really low grades. You know, it's a pretty, you see a lot of creasing and that kind of thing to the cover. And I mean, this is a sharp presenting copy. And yeah, you know, let's take a look at the grader's notes again. Let's see how this one did. Creased top front cover breaks color, so that's that, you know, one up there. Spine stress lines, cover breaks color, wear all corners, multiple crease, left top back cover, small tape, left center of spine. I don't remember where the tape was. Small tape, left center of spine. Oh, that's this. That's actually, it's not a piece missing out. That's a small piece of tape there. Almost like it, I remember that now. It's like it was near the staple, and I wasn't sure if we even did anything, but I felt like it was risky to try to remove it. So I just kept it there. But yeah, 4.5, great presenting copy of Vault of Horror number 35. Yeah, that one is awesome. Definitely happy with that. All right. What do we got coming out of here next? Ooh, all right, this is a cool one. This is Menace number 9. I refer to this as the first appearance of The Walking Dead. You know, you've got the, you know, Take a Walk with The Walking Dead, because this is from way before, you know, Walking Dead came out, much later, the one that most people know of. But this was an awesome presenting copy, just a beautiful copy. Let's see if I can show it without spoiling the grade here. There was just one main flaw, big flaw in this one. It's right here. It's tough to see, but there's a piece of tape basically holding a piece of the cover on. And so we'd kind of call it like a big tear that's near the top. But otherwise, really stunning presenting copy of this book. And this is from Atlas. I had this one as a 3.5. All right, 4.0. I will take that. I'm really happy with that. But yeah, so you can see a little clearer. There's this, it doesn't show up much because of the black, but there's a piece of tape that runs right down to here. There, you can kind of see it right there. There's a piece of tape that runs from the top down to here, and there's this tear here where it's holding this piece onto the cover. But just a really, really nice presenting copy, especially with this being this black cover. I mean, spine's got a little bit of wear to it. Go to the back. You can see it looks like a tape stain on the top here. So tape on the piece of the interior. Just the back. But man, this is such a nice presenting copy of this book. The colors just look incredible on this one. I mean, no creasing. Like really, it's just like no creasing on the cover, except, you know, you got a little one down here that's hidden in that corner. Wow. For that black cover, that looks incredible. Yeah, Gene Colan cover. I like these. There are a number of these in this run where you have this like zombie character that's on the cover there, and these always look really cool. But yep, Menace number 9, 4.0. You know, I had it at a 3.5, so happy with the 4.0. And yeah, just a stunning presenting copy of that book. All right, what do we have left? Okay, only one left. So what is this one? Oh, all right, saved a pretty good one for last. All right, here we have Journey into Mystery, number 85, first appearance of Loki. This one has some fading to the cover, you know, where these would normally be kind of like more of a red or deep orange. Same thing with Thor's cloak. it's faded on there. Now this I picked up from Alex the Comic Hoarder on one of his YouTube. This thing's pushing my leg over here. One of his YouTube claim sales. So make sure you go check those out. He's always got really cool books on those, and he has great prices. So I picked this one up from him. I had this as a 2.5, 3.0, and wow, white pages too. Nice. All right, so that's great. So white page copy, 3.0. And you can see where, there was something like lying on the cover. So you have some parts of it that have the more orangish color and some that are the lighter color. But yeah, so first appearance of Loki, first appearance of Heimdall, first appearance of Asgard, first cameo of Odin, and the third appearance of Thor. I mean, this is a major key book. There are multiple first appearances in this one, and 3.0 white pages copy. I mean, this is pretty early, 1962, so white page is pretty cool with that one too. Definitely happy with that. That is a nice little surprise getting that page quality, because this one I don't remember really checking the page quality on this one, because it's not something I normally look at. Usually it's if it sticks out to me, like with some of the Golden Age books, I remember it, but I don't often remember checking it with the Silver Age stuff. But yeah, white pages, awesome. Journey to Mystery 85, first appearance of Loki. That is the last book that's in there. So that was everything. So it started off a little rough. I had the restored book. I had the one that I missed the grade by 1.5 grades. I'm really going to be considering maybe just cracking that one out and sending it back in and seeing what goes on with it. But yeah, ending with a nice, white page surprise on this Journey to Mystery 85. Overall, really happy with this submission. I think the biggest book in here, yeah, is definitely this guy right here. The Famous Funnies. I mean, I think this is like a $2,800 book now, something like that. This one has gotten real pricey, so this is definitely the biggest book of the submission. So super happy with that, getting the grade on that one. But some nice surprises, like the white pages on that, and that 8.0 on that Crime Suspense Stories. That's the nicest. That's the nicest surprise in here. 8.0 and white pages on this Crime Suspense Stories 16. That's incredible. Man, am I gonna have to send this one back too? I don't know if it's worth it. This one, same thing. It's got, I had to send one back in my last submission because it had a big scuff, and I know people said you can get the scuff out, but you got some scratching on it's not as bad as the other one, so maybe I'll just leave it as is and maybe work out the scuff on there. It's got the scuff and then a scratch on the it's a little tough to make out. The scratch on the CGC label too. Yeah, I mean, that's not going to take me down. I'm still happy with this, 8.0 white pages copy of Crime Suspense Stories number 16. So yeah, overall, pretty happy with the submission. Couple disappointments, couple positive surprises. Remember, make sure to go check out that Pittsburgh comic book show. It's this weekend on May 21st. Lots of vendors, lots of comics. Should be a great time. So if you'd like to see more videos like this, like I said, I've got another box coming back from CGC, 24 books in a fast track economy. Has not shipped out yet. I don't know when it's going to get here, but hopefully sometime relatively soon. But if you'd like to see that, you got to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. Got more videos over here. If you want to watch some of my other videos, that subscription button is right here, and I will see you in the next video.